So, as you may or may not have known, I got an airbrush machine. And let me tell you, this has been a game changer for all types of ombre designs. So airbrush is not anything that's new. This has been around for decades. We remember going to the nail salon and getting ombre. It was very popular with stencils. When you did French, oh please, that was what they did in the shops for airbrush. So now that it's coming back, it's very reminiscent on my memories of going to the nail salon. I can't even remember the last time I went in the nail salon and got my nails done. But when I was younger, me and my friends going to get our airbrush designs and our nails done. So I loved it, and I was so excited when it came back. A student of mine had put me on to this one, so this is the one that I have. I'll link it down below in the description box, but it is on my Amazon storefront. It was like 26 bucks. Super easy. I thought it was going to be annoying to use, but if you are somebody that's struggling with ombre, this is it. So it has been amazing for ombre. Again, if you do ombre designs, especially with gel polish, and you have an ombre brush, I have an ombre brush, but it just, my ombre don't be ombreing the way that I wanted to. Like how when you do it with acrylic, with polish, it's just, maybe it's me, I don't know. But I just wasn't digging it all the time. Sometimes I have good moments, sometimes I don't. And I feel that sometimes I have to actually paint several layers and blend it with the ombre brush. It just got so annoying. So I said, let me get this. And if I don't do anything else with this airbrush machine, I will use it for ombre. So it, again, has been a game changer. It made my life so much easier when it comes to doing ombre designs. So let me show you how you can accomplish the perfect ombre using the airbrush machine. Okay, so this is the airbrush machine that I got. So a couple things you want to notice. This is going to be your handle where the paint is fed and then it's released, and then this is going to be what you hold when you are working. So the other parts are the nozzle, the trigger. This is your trigger. And then we have the well. This is where your paint's going to go. So this part comes off as well. It gets fed into here, and then this is your paint well. This is where your polish is going to go. So you can use gel paints to add to the well, and we want to dilute that with a little bit of acetone because we know gel paint is very thick, and the first thing that we're going to do is going to clog your machine when it comes out. So if we paint it, we put just gel polish in here to squeeze out, it's way too thick and it's going to clog it up, and then your machine is going to end up not working. So you want to be very mindful of that, and you want to use kind of a toothpick so we can dilute it. So let's go ahead and do that. So gel is a little messy, so I do recommend wearing gloves. So working with the airbrush machine is a little bit messy, so I'm going to recommend always to use, I just put on gloves because it gets a little sticky feeling. Oh, great. Pop my glove already. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is make sure that we are putting our gel polish in. So I do like to keep it connected for this because obviously it can't balance. And I can only speak for this machine because this is the only one that I have. So I'm going to open up the cap. And I have a toothpick here. You'll see why in a minute. And I'm gonna take my paint, and I'm not gonna drop it straight in, because if I drop it straight into this hole, then it's going to land immediately down. It's gonna start to go immediately down, and I don't want that. That's gonna clog it. So what I like to do is take it and just paint it on the side and let it run. This buys me some time. You don't need as much gel as you think you're gonna need. It's not going to dilute that much. So you see, as it's starting to run, I want to catch it right before it starts to kind of go down. And then I'm just going to, I start with pressing in that hole because I want to make sure that doesn't go all the way down. And then I'm just going to mix it. It should be very fluid, very water-like. You can always add more gel paint to this if it's not the color. You want it more intense, but you don't want to do too much gel polish. So I'm going to make sure that's like thoroughly, I'm scraping the sides just like I'm making a cake or something. I want to scrape the sides and make sure I'm pressing that toothpick right down in the middle. I want to make sure all of that is nice and fluid. So now I'm going to put my cap back on. And this is portable, rechargeable. And I want to do a test paint. So before I start with my client, this is the power button. And then I have a second speed. So I'm going to do a little test paint and I'm going to shoot it. My color is coming out good. It does run out very quickly, so you will notice that. So the first thing you want to do, if I'm doing an ombre, I'm going to paint whatever base color I'm going to be using. And sometimes what I recommend is taking a little bit of paper towel, because you don't want to get it on your hand, is spray the nail. So I'm going to go at a good distance. I'm about this far away from it, and I'm going to spray the nail. So you'll see sometimes it'll scatter like that, and you're like, oh no, that's not what I wanted, because it is diluted paint. So sometimes you want to do several little sprays. If you see that you're getting a little spot that's missing, just kind of come back, or you see if you get too close, it's going to make it worse. So we want to come back. And I'm going to tilt the hand, and I'm going to make it, it's going to kind of run, because again, this is gel paint. That's so diluted that it's almost like water. So I'm not going to stress it, because I know if I cure this, I can get it again. So I'm going to cure this and then go in with a second coat. But you want to make sure, because this is a longer nail, you don't really see it. If this was a shorter nail, or probably a real person, I would have gel paint over here. So I'm just going to take a little bit of acetone. Make sure you wipe your client's finger before you go on to the next finger, and before you cure, because it will cure on their finger as well. And you want to kind of do this one finger at a time, because again, this is so fluid that you see it's starting to move already. So let me just go ahead and, but you have to cure it before you kind of add a little bit more. So now I'm going to just cure this, and then I'm going to go on with a second coat. So once that's cured, I kind of flash cured it a little bit. Again, I work one finger at a time. You want to just keep kind of checking, because again, it takes more spray than you think per nail, and you want to make sure you have enough. So I have enough for this, but if I was doing more, I would have to add a little bit more gel paint and a little bit more acetone to this. So this is good for right now. So now I'm going to go in with my second coat, and I'm just going to spray. And this time I'm just going to kind of hit the tips, because again, this is ombre. This looks good. It's just the edge. You want it very intense on the end for an ombre. Again, the more you come out, the more you want to get the sides. And I'm a little bit back now, because I want to just make sure I'm getting certain spots. So that's all. So this is after the second one. You can see how that looks. So now I'm going to go ahead and cure this. So this is what it looks like after 2 coats. If you wanted it more intense, you could add a little bit more. Let's say I wanted it a little bit intense. I'm going to add just a little bit more. See, just that little peak of color just helped it out. So it depends on what you want. Most of the time I feel like I get it in 2 coats, but depending on the color, depending on the intensity of the ombre, you may want to add one more coat or not. So after you're all done, and let's say you want to change it to a different color, you want to clean this out, the first thing is you definitely want to grab some paper towel. And remember, there's a hole here. So I'm going to open this. I think it's empty at this point, but I want to make sure everything is out. And I'm going to I want to get rid of this. This also comes off, so you can just remove that if need be. And I want to make sure I get all that color. So whether you're reusing it right then on the spot, or you're going to reuse it another time, you want to make sure you get all that off. So to do that, I'm just going to add all the way some acetone. I'm going to close this back up. And then I'm going to turn it on, and I'm just going to spray until it comes out clear. So I think I pretty much got all of it out. You could barely see anything. You want to keep moving it so you can see that it's coming out clear. And I'm just going to waste all that acetone I just sprayed, because it's very important that this does not get clogged. You even see that I have a little red here. I can go ahead and clean that off. Make sure I get that. Make sure we got some acetone. So we make sure it's running clear. Dump this out. And then I can actually just use this to clean up around. Clean this, make sure I get all that, especially when you have colors. So I did this the other day with like a glitter that was horrific. Cleaning this, and it was 2 different glitters. So it takes a lot of cleaning if you're going to use a color that has glitter in it and you're switching out colors depending on the design you're doing. But you want to make sure that this cap is fully clean and emptied. And honestly, even when I'm doing someone's nails, I don't wait till I'm done. When I'm done with the airbrush, I'll clean it out because I don't want it to sit in here and end up collecting. So even though I just dumped that out, again, I want to make sure all that acetone's out. So I'm just gonna tap this, tap that, make sure everything is clean. So when I need it next time, I know she's good to go. Close this back up. And then again, I just want to wipe it. It does get very dirty. It becomes very sticky. So, but now she's all clean and ready to use next time. So as you can see, that was super easy, super simple. I love it. Again, you get the perfect ombre every single time. No more stress, no more worry, no more hustle and bustle with the ombre brush and the gel polish and the client moved, and we don't have time for all that. So I'm totally here for this ombre kick right now with the airbrush machine. Again, if you are interested in it, I will leave a link in the description box below, and you can also find it on my Amazon storefront. And trust me guys, you want to go ahead and get this because it's going to be such a game changer and a lifesaver and a time saver. And there's so many other things that you can do with this ombre machine. I've just only begin to have fun with it and play with it. So definitely think about investing in it. And if you are somebody, especially that's heavy into nail art, which hello, most nail techs are. This is why we got into this, for the nail art. So definitely you want to check that out and start to play around with it and have some fun. And again, get the perfect ombre every single time. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to tune in as I'm celebrating Vlogmas and posting every single day for the month of December up until Christmas. Nail tips, tricks, tutorials, vlogs, all that good stuff. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.